Chapter 18. I knew it was all too good to be true, Maribel thought as they watched Jeremy's truck pull away. Blake slipped his arm around her waist. She felt her body stiffen up. This was too much. She knew it couldn't be this easy to have the life she'd dreamed of. "Don't worry, we're going to tackle this together," Blake said. "It's not your fight." "What if I want it to be my fight? What if I want to be here for you and Lucien?" "Blake, this is wrong, but Jeremy is his father. If he forces the paternity test, that fact will be revealed. He's very successful, has a lot of money, and a place of his own. I live with my grandparents. Who do you think a court of law would give custody to? You've raised Lucien his entire life without Jeremy. I don't think a judge would take him away from you. Not, but joint custody would be bad too. What do you think it would do to Lucien if he found out his father had been here all the time? What if Jeremy convinces him that only I knew who his father was?" Blake's eyes widened. He was determined to help. But what if his presence made Jeremy work that much harder to ruin her life? It was clear Jeremy was only doing this because she and Blake seemed to have a future together. "I don't know what to do, but I think it would be best if we put everything on hold." "Everything? You mean us, right?" "No, we'll figure it out together. Don't push me away." What would happen if she and Blake moved forward without fear? Was that the right thing to do? Maribel shook off the thought. She had to focus on Lucien. Nothing else mattered. "I have to take care of Lucien. He's number one." "Absolutely. I want to help you make sure Jeremy doesn't win this case." It would be great to have Blake's support. She knew he would fight just as hard as she would for Lucien. But something didn't feel right. Was she just afraid to embrace the idea that she and Blake could be happy together? Blake, what happened?" Ruby was standing in the doorway on the porch. "Graham!" Maribel cried, rushing toward Ruby. "Oh my gosh, what was that snake Jeremy doing here?" Didn't respond. Instead, she handed Ruby the piece of paper. Ruby read it and let out a gasp. Her hand flew to her mouth. "How can he do this? There's no way he'll win." "We don't know that. He has a lot of money. More money than I do. There's a chance he could win this battle. And then what will I do?" "Don't even think like that. You've got plenty of people to support you. This is not happening. He's not winning anything," Blake said, slowly approaching the porch. Maribel turned to face him. "You can't be sure of that. I think we're going to have to wait for all of this that we've talked about. Nothing can happen right now. I've got to worry about Lucien and keep him away from Jeremy." Please don't give up on us before we even try. I want to help." "What's happening?" Lucien asked, stepping out onto the porch. "Nothing," Ruby, Blake, and Maribel replied in unison. "Mom, you were crying. What is it?" Lucien asked again, reaching for Maribel. She took him into her arms, holding him tight. "I think I know who we can ask to help," Blake said. "I can't afford a lawyer." "Don't worry. I've got an idea, but I have to talk to Alexis first. I'll call you as soon as I hear something." Blake dialed his sister's number, hit speakerphone, and tossed his cell into the passenger seat before driving off. "Hey, what's going on?" Alexis asked. "I need your help." "Okay, is something wrong with Mom and Dad?" "No, they're doing fine. I just left Maribel's." "Oh, that's great. What do you need my help with?" "Jeremy showed up while I was there. He said he's going to fight for custody of Lucien." "What? He can't do that. He doesn't even know the kid." "Yeah, he's ignored the kid for 12 years. He's right here in town, which makes that even worse. I can't believe a judge would let this go very far. Nobody's going to entertain the idea that Jeremy cares about Lucien at this point. The boy's 12 years old." "You're probably right, but I want to be on the safe side. Just wondering if you're still in touch with your old boss." "You mean Max?" "Yes, you still talk to him?" "Nobody really talks to Max. He doesn't want to be in the world, is how he puts it." "What does that even mean?" "It means he doesn't want to be bothered. I know he's one heck of an attorney, but I don't think he's going to be able to help you." "What, do you think he's going to take Maribel's case?" "Do you know where he is?" Blake asked. Yeah, everybody knows where he is. We just don't talk about it because he's made it very clear he does not want to be bothered. Blake, listen closely. You can't just go and see him. He really is that grumpy. I don't care how grumpy he is. He's one of the best attorneys in town, probably in the valley. I know he can help Maribel, and I think he will after he hears what's going on. He's a good guy. You've been gone a long time. Things have really changed. Max went through a really rough divorce. After that, he withdrew from the world. He lives on his family's property up in the mountains over the valley, and he doesn't want visitors or work. He hasn't taken a case in years. So he's up on his family's property then? Yes, but I don't know which part of the property he's living on. I have buildings all around. It's pretty big. And it's private property, so you can't just go up there and trespass. What about his sister? She's in town with her family. He has her handle a lot of things if he has to do something around town. She's not as reclusive as Max, but she likes to keep a bit of a distance from people, too. They're just a private family, which is hard and friendly, but they pull it off. I need you to do me a favor. Okay, but I don't know if I'm going to do it. I think that you're barking up the wrong tree. I need you to call Max and tell him I'm on my way. No, Blake, you can't go there. I'm going there now. You can either call him and let him know, or let me go there cold turkey. Which one is it going to be? Alexis sighed. How come you never listen? I just need this done. What Jeremy is doing is wrong, and I know Max cares about right and wrong. He'll help Maribel. I know he will. Okay, if you're on your way up there, I will call him, but just so you know, he does not answer the phone. I'm going to send a text message and try to call, but I can't guarantee I'll reach him. It could be dangerous approaching his land. Like I said, it's private property. Just keep that in mind. Maybe you could give me his number? No, he doesn't want to be bothered. Come on, Alexis. If you don't get in touch with him, call me back with his number. I'll wait at the mailbox, and then I'll call him before I go on the property. I know he's a pretty good shot, so I want to make sure he knows I'm coming. You're freaking me out. Yes, he is a great shot. So if you go on his property unannounced, you're taking a risk. I know, that's why you're going to contact him and give me his number if he doesn't answer. Fine. I'll call you back. Don't do anything without hearing from me. She hung up before Blake said anything else. He continued along the main road until he was on the outskirts of town. Max lived above Friendly on a property his great-great-grandfather purchased when the town's first mine opened. The Claiborne family had arrived before Friendly was officially a town. His great-great-uncle served as the town's first official mayor. When Blake was a teenager, Max owned most of the properties on Main Street, along with several pastures throughout the valley. Max was about 10 years older than Blake, so they hadn't been close. But he would give talks to the middle and high school students about careers. Back then, Max had been gregarious and eager to chat with people. Now it sounded like he no longer wanted contact with anyone. Blake remembered Max married a woman from somewhere back east. She came from some tobacco farm dynasty. He wasn't sure what had happened, but Max and his wife had divorced, and she had tried to take some of his family's land, even though she was more than well off. Her family had more money than his, and it became a contentious divorce. But because of Max's impeccable legal skills, he negotiated a settlement with her lawyer, which allowed both of them to walk away with the assets they had before the marriage. Unfortunately, the experience seemed to have left Max angrier than he had been before. In reality, he'd always had a reputation of being a little grumpy if people stopped by his house. He never liked people to show up on his doorstep unannounced. Blake knew arriving this way would not make Max happy, but he would take the chance of being told no. Blake took the narrow road up into the mountains. It wound to the west, then to the east, past the reservoir before reaching a steep dirt driveway. A mailbox with the name Claiborne and a no soliciting or trespassing sign sat on the opposite side of the road. He pulled over and called Alexis. Any luck? I sent a text and told him you were coming. He quickly responded with, tell him not to come. Okay, can I have his number? No, you can't. He said not to come, so you need to turn around and go home. I'm not doing that. Blake, you really are going to push his buttons. I'm telling you, he's grumpier than you think. I don't care. I just have a quick question for him. He can say no if he wants, but I want him to know the situation first. I think this is a mistake, Alexis said. I know, you think most of the things I do are mistakes, but I'm going to do it anyway. He powered down the phone and pulled into the driveway. When he got halfway to the house, a figure appeared in the middle of the road. It was a towering man with a shotgun strapped over his shoulder, his arms folded over his chest, and an enormous hat pushed low on his eyes. Blake parked the truck in the middle of the road and got out. "I told your sister to tell you not to come." "I know. I'm sorry to bother you, but I need your help." "That's not my problem." "I know, but you care about justice, and that's why I'm here." "I care about not being bothered." "Max, please, I need your help." "Like I told you, I care about not being bothered. That's it. Now get out of here." "You're not going to shoot me." "If I do, I know how to get out of the jail time. Remember, I'm a lawyer." "A great lawyer from what I understand, but an even better man. You care about people." "Don't be so sure about that. Get off my property." "Can I at least tell you what's happening?" "No. I'm counting to 3. You're not out of here. The gun comes out." "Jeremy's threatening to take Lucien from Maribel." Max was unfazed, his arms still crossed over his chest. "Again, that's got nothing to do with me." "Jeremy has never acknowledged his son. You know that. Now he's trying to take Lucien because Maribel and I want to get together. And I want to be Lucien's dad." Max tilted his head and unfolded his arms. "So you're finally doing it?" "If you mean giving me and Maribel a chance, yes. And for the record, it wasn't me that was hesitant to do so." I see. Tell me a little more." "Jeremy was trying to get me to leave town. Even set up an interview for me in Denver to get me out of here. Now, because he doesn't want anyone to be with Maribel, he's threatening to take Lucien away. Not because he wants to be his father. He just doesn't want them to be happy. He doesn't want somebody else to have them. I think he expected her to stay single until Lucien was an adult, and then maybe, because he wouldn't have the same responsibilities of a father of a 12-year-old or a toddler or a teenager, he would come to Lucien and say he never knew he had a son. He probably planned to sneak in and suggest a paternity test." "Yeah, that sounds like something Jeremy would do." "All right, I'll tell you what. I don't like it when somebody wrongs an innocent victim, and this boy is innocent. He's done nothing to deserve this. And Jeremy's a snake. I don't like him, so here's what I'll do. You take my email and have Maribel send me a message with all the information, and I'll get back to her." "Max, I can't thank you enough. I haven't done anything yet. I just want the information. After that, I'll decide what to do next. So don't get all excited." "Okay, I understand. What's your email address?" Max folded his arms again. "I'm not giving it to you. Go get it from your sister. And send me the information and have it here by tomorrow."